Hello, my name is Andrea, and this is High Literature, a program where I introduce comics and books and art to you, the viewer. I did my first comic book combo video yesterday, and I enjoyed doing it. It wasn't that great, and with that being said, I want to do more. I the thing I didn't like about it was that I feel like I read too long, and I could see how somebody that it just seemed like it kind of started to meander, and I am not even going to pretend to do voices. And I think like when like the initial part of one of the readings, like not the comic book reading but the book reading, the descriptive scenes at the beginning were fine, but then when it came to like the dialogue, when I watched the video after I recorded, I was like, even I got kind of lost as to who was saying what to each other, and that's not good. But it was my first, and I figure you just gotta, keep trying. And I was talking to a friend earlier today, and he said perfection is the enemy of done. And because I was talking about how, I kept finding excuses to not do these videos because I just wanted everything to be perfect. And then just one day I realized I would rather do a little bit of something instead of a whole lot of nothing. And regardless if it was good or not, just keep going, keep trying. And with that being said, yeah, there were definitely things about yesterday's video that I would have liked to have done different, but you just keep trying. So I was thinking of other titles that I could do, like comic book combos, and I was chatting with, I found a new account because I follow, I think like a Poppy Z Bright hashtag, and so a Poppy Z Bright thing came up in my feed, and I started chatting with a fellow Poppy Z Bright fan, which are hard to find. And I was telling her how I was wanting to do a video about one of Poppy's books, and it reminded me of how there are so many comic book elements in the book that later, I came back around to dig into and learn about. The first time I ever heard about Robert Crumb was reading Poppy Z Bright's Drawing Blood book. Drawing Blood is about a cartoonist, and this isn't a spoiler, it's in the description of the book. He kills himself and murders almost everyone in his family except for one son that he leaves alive, and that son becomes and this happens in the prologue. It tells you in the back of the book. I'm not spoiling anything, I promise. And this all happens in the prologue, and then the rest of the book is about the son that survived, who's also a cartoonist. And in this book they talk about, like, there's so much music and authors and comic book writers. This is the first time I ever heard about Stephen Bissett's Taboo series. The main character, Trevor, he was like submitting comic stories to Taboo, and like Bissett would call him and be like, oh, I got, the thing in the mail and it's great and can't wait to publish it and blah blah blah. And Robert Crumb and lots of music, lots of, oh wait, that's the other book. Yeah, there's lots of Bowie and Nine Inch Nails and The Cure and the Lost Souls book. In this book, it's lots of Charlie Parker, actually. Charlie Parker, and lots of reggae. And it's such a fun read. And this, go on eBay and get you some of this. This is so good. I cannot tell you how many times I've read this Comics Journal edition. It's just, it's phenomenal. It's fascinating. It's fantastic. And yeah, so one of the future comic book combos I'm going to do will be Drawing Blood by Poppy C. Bright and Comics Journal for Robert Crumb. Yay! Another one that I'm going to do, it's a Sword and Sorcery, and Jeff Smith's Bone. Jeff Smith, it's his birthday today, so big happy birthday to Jeff Smith, one of the greatest cartoonists ever. Oh my God, this omnibus is one of my dearest, most treasured possessions. I think, this is the only omnibus I own. I had David Lapham's Stray Bullets omnibus that I got at the comic shop that he was doing a signing at. I got to meet him. It was just one of the most, like, oh my God, like, my just whole being wanted to melt. It was so cool getting to meet him and getting him to sign my omnibus. And that was one of the things that got loosed in the great shipping move disaster. And sometimes I'll like look for it on eBay, like a signed copy, just to see, like, wondering, like, is that the one? Is that mine? But yeah, this is, other than that, this is the only omnibus that I have. It's huge. I think you could kill somebody with this if you were really determined. But the I don't want to call it a mashup. It's not a mashup. It's a joining. It's a sharing. It's not even a joining. It's just sharing the same space, I guess. But the Sword and Sorcery book is Daughter of the Drow by Elaine Cunningham. This is the first Forgotten Realms book I ever read, and this is what got me into the Forgotten Realms. Daughter of the Drow, it's the... What series is this? The Starlight and Shadows series. It's so good. It's so fun. I love it. It's just... God, I think I was 12 when I read this, and probably around the same age when I started reading Bone. Bone is so... Let's see, what do I got here for Bone? Oh yeah, I've got this guy here, and I actually have this poster. It's beautiful, and I love it. It's one of my most cherished possessions ever. And this, the Bone Holiday Special. It's fun. And then, like, just a few, like, random issues, but yeah, we like Bone in this house. Where is he? Here's Bone here. Boom. Then we've got Smiley Bone here. Boom. I cannot find Phony Bone. He's somewhere. I have a pretty good feeling I know where he is. And where I think he is, I am not going to go digging through that box anytime soon. It is buried. He's in the furthest corner of one of the backest rooms, and that just, yeah, he's fine. He's fine back there. The other one that I wanted to do, this is going to be so much fun. I have here 4 books of short stories. These were it's the Borderlands anthology series by well, I was going to show you the fun little logo. Well, gosh, like White Wolf Publishing. It's just such an iconic image, and it's wrapped in tape. You can't see it. Plastic tape, but these are just so great. Poppy Z. Bright actually has a short story in here. I want to say Neil Gaiman has a short story in a Poppy Z. Bright anthology series, Love in Vain and Love in Vain 2. I think Neil Gaiman's story is in Poppy Z. Bright's first Love in Vain book, Snow Glass Apples. But yeah, Poppy Z. Bright, they transitioned to Billy Martin like 2004 or something like that. Wow. But I'm sorry, I'm distracted by the cute kitty. But yes, these are great. And it's fun because some of these stories, they're so wonderful and scary and creepy and weird, and then others are just kind of poopy. They're not that great. And that's fine. You know, you get, everything's always a mixed bag, but for these four, so this was definitely like early 90s, like splatterpunk, cyberpunk type stuff. And at the same time, we had things coming out. So for those four, the four comics I'm going to do, very like just gothy feel. We've got James O'Barr's The Crow. We're going to do Straight Toasters by Bill Sienkiewicz. Best of Negative Burn. Caliber Comics. How about that? Yes, The Best of Negative Burn. Oh my God, I'm so excited for this. This is going to be so much fun. And I talked about this the other day, Angry Christ Comics. Boy, this is... we're going to have fun with that. But yeah, I just wanted to do a little preview video, I guess you could say, about future book and comic combos that I'm going to do. I'm on a time constituent here, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And yeah, see you soon. Bye.